Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking to you about some details on Batman Gotham City Chronicles. Batman Gotham City Chronicles is a 2 to 4 player miniature board game that includes both an adventure mode with 20 scenarios based off comic stories such as Hush, The Court of Owls, and The Killing Joke, as well as a standard skirmish mode where 2 players build an army of heroes versus villains before fighting it out. Monolith is taking Batman Gotham City Chronicles exclusively to Kickstarter February 27th. The campaign will remain simple, with a single pledge level of $140 for the base game and all stretch goals. If you wish to purchase the additional buys of the Arkham Asylum Jokerland expansion, the Batcave and Wayne Manor expansion, and the Batmobile expansion, as well as the Skirmish Mode add-on, which adds an extra control board and additional needed cards, it will cost you $300, which then allows you to go all in. Now do realize that there are at least 100 miniatures that have been signed off by DC for this game, so there will be a plethora of components found in this game. Alright, so first let's look at kind of the basic system at play here. The adventure mode is a 1 versus many type game, with one player playing the villains. Like Conan, the villain has a row of enemies as well as cubes that they can use to assign actions. Actions can only be used a certain amount of times, denoted both by the available cubes as well as the available slots on the villain tray. The farther to the right an enemy card is, the more expensive it is to activate, and once activated, it moves to the far right of the tray, becoming more expensive for future activations. These systems all add up to both a traditional dice chucker as well as a heavy dose of resource management. Heroes also act much like they did in Conan, where you have cubes that allow for actions. Using cubes takes away the cube by 1 turn, and wounds take them away by 2 turns. Cube recovery involves taking a turn with a slow recovery or skipping your turn entirely for a larger recovery. Heroes have different stats, such as free movement points and soft limits for cube allocation for various skills. I assume Batman just has an infinity sign for each of these. They also have abilities such as detective, hacking, parkour, defusing, and many more. Heroes can interrupt their turns as much as they wish. The hero turn is very free form, and the hero players can work together, swapping activations as much as they wish. What this means is one player could attack 2 enemies in their space, then, without continuing their actions, another player can move through that space to the main villain and attack before the first player again takes another action. Moving normally costs 1 point, but 1 additional point is added for each enemy unit in your spot, based on their size. If a normal unit is size 1, I imagine Clayface is somewhere around 27. Also, there is a weight and encumbrance system in play with items, where holding more items weighs you down and reduces your free movement points. Now, members of the Bat family have a utility belt features where they can pick a certain number of gadgets before the game that have no weight at all, so that's kinda cool. The maps look very well thought out and are filled with some beautiful art, and tricks to help make gameplay fun and not cumbersome. For instance, each section has a letter attached to it, and that is used for line of sight judging, so you don't have to estimate anything. This is also used for units that are higher on the board, looking down at their enemies. I think Obi-Wan would approve of this method. Okay, so let's take a moment to talk about combat. Both heroes and the villains have options to help with dice luck. Heroes can overpower their move by going over their limit of the cubes for a given action, but afterwards, those extra cubes go straight to their wounds section. Ranged attacks are not blocked by enemies in your own space, however those enemies will hinder your unit, removing successes from your roll. However, sticking with your allies is helpful. If they are also in the same spot as you, they will hinder the hinderer, which is just my terrible way of saying that they will prevent one enemy unit from removing a success from your roll. Group combat is also in this game and is quite interesting as there is a combo system. So if Batman downs one enemy, he has the potential to then start pummeling the next guy in range, because we all know how breaking someone's face and making them a vegetable with high medical bills that the Goons family cannot afford so they turn to crime is Batman's way. In closing, I'd like to first point out how amazingly transparent and engaging Monolith has been. Unlike my time digging up information about hate, almost all of the information I just provided has been given by Monoliths themselves as they actively communicate and engage with their audiences on social media and Board Game Geek. Well done, Monolith. With that, Batman Gotham City Chronicles, a game for 2 to 4 players, will be launching on Kickstarter on February 27th for the base price of $140. Expect a Kickstarter video at that time. If you'd like to catch updates on the campaign as it progresses and you're not already subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed the video, perhaps think about supporting the channel with a thumbs up a word of encouragement in the comments, or even a trip to my Patreon. Additionally, let me know if you have any further questions I might be able to help with in the comments below. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I always appreciate it, and I'll talk to you soon.